Alrighty guys, what is going on y'all? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon here for today. We are looking at some storms that are already starting to fire off here across bits of the Midwest into the northern plains here. Hope you guys are doing alright. Hope y'all are doing great. Like I said guys, hope everyone is hanging in there here for today. Let me go ahead and turn off my tablet audio. That would probably work good. Anyways guys, hope y'all are doing well. Let's go ahead and get right on into it, y'all, because we actually do have a bit of action that's already kicking on here. You can kind of see here, look at this little storm. It kind of looks like, is it just me, or is it rotating counterclockwise, kind of just near Plainview, just across northeastern Nebraska. Let's go ahead and see who is here. What's up, Abby? What's up, Sage? What's going on? What's up, Jan? Hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and see here. Gray Guy says it's like watching grass grow. Let's go ahead and see here. Hope you guys are doing all right. Jakey says hi. What's up, Jakey? Hope you're doing well, man. Glad to have all of you guys here for today. Hope you guys are staying safe here. So, like I said, we're currently starting to see some of these cells fire off here. We've actually had a few tornado warnings back when we were not live. We are currently seeing some stuff happen here. Becca says hello again. We are back with another live stream. That is for sure, Becca. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here yet again. So we have ourselves a pretty large threat here for today. And what I mean by that is it's covering a lot of ground. I mean, we're literally seeing the potential for severe storms all the way from the northern portions of the upper Midwest, all the way down into basically, the southern plains here, as far down south as Texas. And honestly, if we continue to move this in, this would actually likely expand into portions of Mexico as well. So that is what we are seeing here. Let's go and see Seeking says, I'm back again. Thank you for last night. You're very, very welcome, Seeking. Like I said, guys, I really do care about y'all. We're going to be here for you guys to make sure that you all are covered in regard to the upcoming severe weather. So, but like I said, right now we are dealing with ourselves a severe threat level 3 out of 5. Yet again here for today. Tomorrow is another big day. We're going to continue watching here for tomorrow. And now today has an upgraded tornado threat. There's actually a 10% tornado threat here for today. Things are going to get pretty daggone nasty here. So we are going to continue to watch it. Like I said, things are really going to kick off here for today and tomorrow as well. So, like I said, y'all, we have ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here across northeastern Nebraska, northwestern bits of Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, and southeastern South Dakota here. So this is a tornado watch. Now, what a tornado watch means is that the conditions are favorable for the potential here of some tornadoes, as well as, in this case here, large hail and damaging winds as well. Pretty big day here for today as scheduled. Let's go ahead and see here. Are we going to get hit here in Lubbock yet again? So there is actually a chance. We are in a severe threat level 2 out of 5 across Lubbock. There's a potential we could actually see more storms across the region. So look out for that. Seeking. If anything does happen, I tell you what, we're going to be here to cover it for you guys. So, like I said, guys, we have ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here. This will be in effect here until 9 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. If you guys are following along on the Eastern Time like I am, this will be until 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here. So we have a little bit to go here. Chances for tornadoes is actually moderate. We have ourselves a 60% probability we could see a tornado across the watch area here. Now, the chances of one of those tornadoes being up and over, like I said, EF2 to EF5 potential is actually a low 20% chance. Severe wind, is actually moderate, clocking in at 60. Anything higher than 70 miles an hour could be also to 60%. So things are going to get pretty crazy here over the next little bit. Let's go see. Seeking says, thank you. You're welcome. Let's go see here. Do I think this will continue to northeastbound tomorrow? I'm in Newton, Iowa, east of Des Moines here. So that is what we are looking at. So across east of Des Moines here, like I said, right here is where Des Moines is. So for tomorrow, tomorrow is also going to be a pretty interesting day here. Like I said, this is going to be, actually, I believe you're kind of right around in here. I think I remember you from last time. Here's Newton. Yeah, so I believe here's where you are right now. So there is a chance for severe weather for you later on tomorrow. So continue to watch this. Like I said, all types of severe weather is possible here for today and tomorrow across the Outlook area. So be on the lookout, man. Like I said, tomorrow is your day, not so much today, but once again, y'all, today is also a pretty big threat here. We're talking some pretty big tornadoes being possible, as well as some large hail and damaging winds here. So we got to continue watching this. Like I said, once again, y'all, there is an active tornado watch that is in effect here until 9 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time across bits of northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota, and northeastern bits of Nebraska. So we are going to continue to watch this, you guys, because things are looking pretty bad. Let's go ahead and see here. How is Claremont, Minnesota look for the rest of today? Claremont is close to Owatonna, Minnesota. Let's go take a look here at Claremont. Let's go and see here. Jan wants to know if Indiana has to worry about these storms, and the answer is not today. Nope, you are in the clear, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a look here, though, from Becca. Becca wants me to look at Claremont. Didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and pull up Claremont and see what's going on down here. Claremont, what did you say? This is in Claremont, Minnesota. Okay, I spelled it wrong. I spelled it completely different here. Claremont, okay, here we go. Here's Minnesota. Got you now. So this is across southeastern side. So here's what we're dealing with here. So across Claremont, I gotta find it here on this map. You're just west of Rochester here. Oh, am I even looking at the right state? Yes, I am. So you're just west here of La Crosse. Here's Rochester. Okay, you're right next to Rochester here. And okay, so you're somewhere around in here. Either I'm not seeing it, or you're there it is. I just saw it for a second. There we go. There's Claremont. Okay, it took me a second there, but we got it. So this is what we are looking at here for today. There is a possibility of some severe storms here for today across the region. So continue to watch out for this, Becca, because there is a possibility of that we actually could see essentially, some severe storms here of all types. Let's go ahead and see here. Minnie Snow says, hello, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Kelly says, what does the pink box signify? So we were just talking about this here a second ago. So the pink box we see here across the states, across northeastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, northwestern Iowa, and southwestern Minnesota, we are seeing ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here until 9 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time across the areas here. This does include not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 states here across the portions of the Midwest into the central and northern plains here. So this is a tornado watch. Now, basically, like I said, what this means is essentially the atmosphere could produce some severe storms that could be capable of producing tornadoes here across the watch area here. Overall, this watch is clocked in at a 60% chance that we could see a tornado within the region here across the watch area. So that's something we got to continue watching out for because, like I said, once again, all types of severe weather is possible for today. Large hail damaging winds, as well as, like I said, large hail damaging winds, and unfortunately, there's actually a pretty decent chance for tornadoes today, higher than we have seen over the last few days. So today's tornado chance is a lot higher than we are expecting, compared to what we did see here over the last few days, but that's what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and see here. So yeah, that's what the pink box means, is a tornado watch. Matt says, hello and good afternoon, Andrew. Hope you're doing well, Matt. Glad to have you here. Let's go ahead and see here. Caleb says, how about... I was going to say Anoka, Minnesota. It's going to take a look here across the areas here. See what's going on here. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you want me to look at a specific place here, I got you all covered. So this is near St. Paul. Okay, so this is just right to the north of St. Paul here, right in Minneapolis. So this is what we're looking at here for today. You are located right here. So there is actually a pretty decent threat here for severe weather. You're actually inside of a 3 out of 5 severe threat. You're in the highest threat here for today. Tornadoes will be a concern. You're actually in a 5% chance here of seeing a few tornadoes around the area. So basically what this shows is that there's a small chance, really a 5% chance that you could see a tornado within 25 miles of you in all directions. So that is still a chance, and it's definitely something, you should watch out for, because like I said, even though it's a low probability, it's a high potential impact. That's the thing about tornadoes, is they can do a lot of damage, and that's something that obviously we don't want to have here. So we'll continue watching this here for today. There is a bit of a larger risk, a 10% risk here across the yellow. From northwestern Iowa, a very small portion here of northeastern Nebraska, as well as southeastern or eastern side here of South Dakota, and obviously a lot here of Minnesota is inside of the greatest chance here across the yellow. Like I said, guys, across the yellow here, this does include Sioux Falls, as well as Marshall, and all these areas here across the yellow is basically signifying, hey, we have ourselves a 10% chance of seeing a tornado every single 25 miles within this box here. So we've got to watch this here pretty closely. So this is going to be a pretty crazy thing here. Let's go and see here. Green Bay says, hello, how's everyone's day? I'm doing pretty good, Green Bay. Hope you're doing great as well here. Like I said, today's going to be pretty crazy here, and we're going to be live here for a long time here for tonight again. We've been live here for the last several days here, and I do plan to be live as well tomorrow, so we've been booked over the last several days here, guys. We've been doing a lot of severe weather coverage, and honestly, I'm very, very thankful to be able to be here for you guys, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and see here. Jakey wants to know if... let's go see here. Minnesota will be affected by the storm today and tomorrow. So I will tell you that today things are going to kick off here across Minnesota. Tomorrow as well. Now let's go and take a look here across the region here, Jakey. We'll see what's going on here and see if anything is going on here. Let's go and see across the region. Let's see if I can even, if my thing wants to pull it up here. Okay, let me go ahead and double check here. But like I said, guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys absolutely are awesome. I really do appreciate all of your support, guys. So once again, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not one to pop up for me. Let's go ahead and see here. Jan says the entire state. This is not for the entire state, at least the tornado threat anyways. This does cover a lot of the state here in Minnesota, though, for severe weather for today. Especially the central and southern portion has our greatest chance here. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt's wanted to inform me that a special weather statement remains in effect. Okay. Yeah, seriously, a special weather statement is not severe enough to be issued for severe criteria, but it's something. Let's go see. Devin says, hey, everyone, and Andrew, or NW16. What's up, Devin? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Let's go see. Laura says, you're already at 3,000. You're growing so fast. Like I said, thanks to you guys. I really do appreciate your support here. And like I said, we're going to continue to give you all coverage here. For today, like I said, tomorrow as well is going to get pretty nasty here. And we are going to be here for you guys here. So that's what we're talking about, you guys. So we've got to, like I said, we're going to continue watching everything here for today. And like I said, we're going to continue giving you all coverage. Let's go ahead and see here. Jan says it's 87 now. That's pretty hot here. It's actually hot here as well in Kentucky for today. All that warm air pulling up here from the Gulf of Mexico is actually looking pretty crazy and really cranking up the heat, that's for sure. Green Bay says it's 90. Yeah, it's been pretty hot here over the last few days. Yesterday it got smoldering hot across Texas. It was ridiculously hot. And like I said, it's really going to kick off here, and it's going to be the same here for today and tomorrow. It is actually going to be quite warm over the next several days, in which we are going to, we're going to have to continue watching it. Like I said, there's obviously, some impacts with heat as well. One, we're actually dealing with a lot of dry conditions along with the heat, so that's kind of a concern in itself here. So, but like I said, guys, we are going to continue to watch this here for today. Let's go ahead and see here. Green wants to know, how is Missouri for Friday, like northeastern Missouri? So, for today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, and Friday here's for day 3. So northeastern Missouri does actually have ourselves a severe threat across the area here. A lot of Missouri does, including St. Louis here. This is our, like I said, the dark green is the lowest in severe threat. The yellow is the second in severe threat. And what we are seeing here, is actually, essentially we are seeing ourselves a severe threat as well. Now, in regard to a breakdown, it's only in a percentage right now. We can't really tell you much more than that here at the moment. Like I said, that would require more further in-depth viewing of models and stuff like that, which we're not going to do here right now because that takes a lot of time. And obviously, we're monitoring to the current events, not what's happening a few days later. But I'm glad to give you the information here. Like I said, watch out here for Friday across Missouri because, yet again, there is another chance here for severe weather, and especially tomorrow. Tomorrow's risk is looking a lot more worse here. We're talking yet again another very big tornado threat here across the bits of the central plains, central northern plains, as well as the Midwest and upper Midwest here. So and once again for today, here we go. Pretty much same threat. Like I said, I actually think that the tornado threat here for today is actually bigger. It's actually more bigger here. So that is what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says it's 75 degrees in Manchester, New Hampshire. That's pretty nice. I can deal with the mid 70s. That's for sure. Kelly says you're always here covering the storms the other guys cover here and there. Not sure what their criteria is. Appreciate your consistency. Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Like I said, we're going to be here for you guys. We got you all covered in regard to things, and we are going to continue to give you guys coverage. And like I said, we're going to be here for y'all. But anyways, guys, like I said, if you're new to the channel, y'all, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get notified whenever we do see some severe weather events. Because like I said, we cover the whole entire country here, guys. Because like I said, Mother Nature wants to do whatever it wants to do. And it will definitely, thrash out some pretty crazy weather across the states. Seriously, not just here across the Midwest is where we cover. We cover the whole entire states, guys. So, once again, if you are new to the channel, y'all, hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go see here. That's fine. Let's go see. Green Bay says, I really love your content. Can't stop watching it. I missed one stream because I was sick. Well, I'm glad, or hopefully you're feeling better, man. And like I said, I really do appreciate it. It seriously means a lot. So once again, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm glad to have you all here for today. And look at this radar signature. I don't know if you guys have been looking at this over the last little bit. It kind of looks like it's rotating counterclockwise. This cell right here in particular across northeastern Arkansas, or sorry, northeastern Nebraska here. It looks like it's actually getting a kind of a twist to it. Do y'all see that? That is that's pretty crazy. So we've got to continue watching this here. This is actually pretty interesting. There has been a few tornado warnings that has been issued so far, but none luckily active right now. However, we do have ourselves 4 severe thunderstorm warnings here across the area. Let's go and see. There's two in Minnesota, and there's 2 here in southeastern South Dakota. So these are all for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Actually, this one's for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and basically half dollar size hail. This does include bits of Bridgewater, bits of Emory, as well as bits of Canastota. I think that's how you pronounce that, as well as Freeman. We actually do have a hail report here. Look at that. 1.5 inches has been reported here, according to the public. This is actually the size of ping pong ball size hail has been reported here in Freeman. Once again, this is across southeastern, South Dakota here, which is actually pretty crazy. And like I said, this will eventually impact Interstate 90 east-west here in a matter of time. Honestly, I'd give it maybe about 30 minutes or so before it starts impacting Interstate 90. It's already impacting some portions of it, but wait till this whole cell moves over it, and that's whenever that hail could potentially become a concern as well. So continue watching this here, like I said, on Interstate 90. This is what we are looking at. Just to the northeast now, damaging winds is not necessarily a concern for this cell near Madison, Dell Rapids as well, Colton, visit Coleman, areas such as this. This is for damaging winds under 50 miles per hour. It's under 50 miles per hour, showing that 50 miles per hour is probably what it could peak up to. But like I said, that still remains under the severe criteria. But our main concern here with this cell near Wentworth and Coleman, in Madison, like I was telling you all about, this is actually for hail, and there is a possibility we could see some more ping pong ball size hail out of this storm here. So we are going to continue to watch this. Let's go ahead and see here. Source 1 News wants to know, any storms for the North Carolina coast? Nope, you're in the clear right now, my friend. Like I said, we are clear here for the next several days. There is no form of risk here, especially for today, what we are covering here. So you are in the clear, my friend. Like I said, we are going to continue watching the weather here across the states, as spring is really not one to end here. Obviously, we still have a while to go, but obviously, it's really peaking right now. Let's go see temperature update for northeastern Arkansas. It's 92 with a real feel of 100. That's definitely hot. Definitely hot. Let's go ahead and see your humid. Everyone stay safe. You're on a great channel to keep up with weather for your safety. Well, thank you so much, Stormy. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, Stormy. Let's go and see here. We got ourselves, Kevin says, Kelly, I agree with you. I'm thankful for Andy. His coverage is more frustrating to have good weatherman turn into a ghost and leaving us hanging. Yeah, guys, that's not what we're all about here. We're here to cover every single severe weather event. Like I said, the only time we're going to end up missing one is either if I'm really busy and I can't be here, if I'm not home or doing anything, or specifically if I'm sick. That's the only ways we're not going to be able to go live. So we are going to continue to watch this here. Let's go ahead and see. I have one question for you. Tomorrow's storms look more linear in late afternoon. So, Drew, I was looking at the models earlier. It does look like it is going to be a long line of storms here firing off across bits of the upper Midwest here yet again. It will be a linear. So there's actually some hazards with linear events here. And that's a fact, like I said, linear meaning a long line. So basically a long line of storms is expected to develop here. Now, the problem is the fact that we could have some what we call, embedded supercells that could potentially have tornadoes. Now, what that means is that these storms could potentially become, these tornadoes could be difficult to see due to rain wrapping around them inside of this big line. So we'll continue watching this. We'll keep our eye out on this, guys, because obviously it's definitely something we got to continue watching here, which that is for sure. But we'll keep an eye on it. Let's go ahead and see here. We got ourselves a report coming in here from Devin. Let's take a look at this. This was here, I think, was this yesterday? Actually, no, I think this was today here. So let's take a look here at this Twitter feed. This is what we are looking at here. Here is some hail that's been reported from this morning's storm, apparently. There isn't damage to them. This is in Minnesota. This was a tweet that got sent to us by Devin. So thanks again, Devin, for tweeting that out to us. Like I said, yeah, big old hail is also a big concern here for today, and it really has been over the last several days as well. We've been seeing a lot of action, in terms of not just hail, but tornadoes and all types of fun stuff like that. So, definitely a big concern. So once again, thank you, Devin. Let's go ahead and see here to admit. I am right. No one should dislike this. It's amazing content. Well, thank you so much, man. Greatly appreciated. Let's go see here. I am so glad you're doing weather today. I live in Mitchell, South Dakota, but my husband is working in the Sioux Falls area. Has just over an hour drive across Interstate 90 to get home in about an hour. Well, I'm glad to be here for you, Pumpkin Problem. By the way, I like your channel name. But like I said, we're going to be here for you guys. Like I said, for today, we're probably going to be live here for the majority of this event. Maybe, honestly, maybe the whole entire thing. We'll see. We'll see what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and see here. Super Gamer says, I heard there's going to be bad weather on Friday for Florida. So yeah, we can go and take a look at that here right now. Let's go take a look at the Day 3 outlook. This is for Friday. And the answer is, honestly, maybe some thunderstorms could be possible. That's what the light green signifies, but really showing no severity. Now, yeah, it's really not showing any severe storms, essentially, but there is a possibility of a few thunderstorms here for Friday. Well, like I said, the severe storms are not expected across Florida. Florida's in the clear for severe weather, but, just a few average, summertime thunderstorms, what normally Florida is used to seeing is basically going to happen here for Friday. Nothing more than that, really, is forecasted right now. Like I said, for Friday, we do have ourselves another severe weather event here across bits of the Midwest here. I mean, look at this. Let's switch to the day 3 once again. So this is our risk here for Friday. This actually does stretch all the way down, once again from literally, the southern portion here of the upper state of Michigan all the way down once again to the western side of Texas, which things is going to get pretty crazy here once again for Friday. Now Thursday being tomorrow's going to be a big day. I'm going to explain to you why here in a second. Well, essentially, basically what's going to happen here is we're going to get a pretty decent chance here for tornadoes. Like I said, today is actually equivalent to tomorrow's tornado threat as well. So tornadoes over the next 2 days is going to be a very big concern here. Now, like I said, there's really 3 areas here of severity. There's a light or dark green, there's a yellow, and an orange. Orange being the worst, obviously, the highest in severe threat. So this is where we are expecting the most storms and the most potentially severe storms here for tomorrow. And once again, we do have ourselves an enhanced for today as well. So today and tomorrow, I believe, is going to look pretty daggone similar here. So we'll continue watching that. Christina says, hi there. Thank you for all you do. You're very, very welcome. Like I said, guys, we're here for y'all. We got you guys covered here, and we are going to continue, like I said, to give you all coverage here, over the next several days here for today, tomorrow, as well as Friday here. We are going to be here for you guys in order to, give you guys all the coverage that you need, because like I said, the word needs to get out there. We need to have we need to have people on the spot here, and, definitely, be watching over the weather for, areas here across the, the nation, which that's what we are doing here, and that's why we are here for today, in order to give you guys all the coverage that you all need, because like I said, this should not go unwarned. This is the type of stuff that we've got to watch out here for a while now. Now, like I said, guys, essentially, like I said, today's a pretty big day. I understand that there's not a lot of big streamers streaming out here for today, which is kind of odd and kind of surprising here. I'm not going to mention any names, but I will tell you, though, that today's a pretty big day in which I don't know why they are not, because we actually have ourselves a 10% tornado threat here. I mean, that's a pretty serious event here. Across bits of Minnesota, like I said, across northwestern Iowa, a very small portion of northeastern Nebraska, as well as eastern South Dakota, is going to be a big concern here. So we are going to continue watching this. We do actually have ourselves another severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here. Just north of Minneapolis. Look at this one. It's actually showing some pretty impressive signatures here, showing those purples, pinks, and blues. This is actually showing us, guys, that we actually have some hail that's likely falling along this whole entire line here. So this is across bits of, like I said, this is relatively just north of, Minneapolis here. Here's Minneapolis, just to the north here. East of St. Cloud, just north of Interstate 94 here, for bits of Princeton, bits of Pease, as well as Lake Fremont here. So that is what we are seeing here. So, definitely got to watch out for. Like I said, large hail is a good, big old concern here for today as well. Large hail, damaging winds, and unfortunately, tornadoes is all going to be a possibility here for today. Tomorrow as well. Tomorrow could seriously get pretty impactful, in which I do expect it to. So, we got to continue watching this, guys. So, we're going to go ahead and switch on back here to the Falls area here. Across southeastern, South Dakota, we are seeing ourselves a few active severe thunderstorms that are in effect here. Like I said, we are monitoring this one. This is actually now, I believe this is the same, if not upgraded here. We are seeing ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for 13 more minutes. So this has a little bit to go until essentially 4 o'clock Central Time. This does include bits of Dalton as well as Freeman, but Freeman is outside of the storm now. There actually has been a hail report of basically, ping pong ball size hail has been reported here in Freeman. But like I said, the storm is right now over Bridgewater, bits of Canastota, I think that's how you pronounce that here, as well as Dalton here. So that is what we are looking at. So 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The winds could gust up to 60 miles per hour, as well as, like I said, the hail potentially could get up to about $half size hail. And this is tracking north. This is tracking north here, and it's getting ready to impact Interstate 90 here, just south of Spencer and south of Salem, between Alexandria here, it looks like, just east of Alexandria. So we are going to continue watching this. Like I said, this is going to have some impacts on the highway here. So we are going to keep ourselves an eye on this. Like I said, for travelers that are currently traveling on Interstate 90, you should be aware that there is a pretty strong storm that is just west here of the falls. So that's what we're talking about. So we also do have ourselves another one near Madison, less than 60-mile-an-hour winds. So the winds is not the concern with this cell near Madison, bits of Nunda as well as Wentworth and Coleman. It's not the winds that's the problem with this guy, but it's actually the hail. We could see ourselves another potential of seeing honestly, maybe some more hail in regard to things. Let's go ahead and see here. Drew says, I have a question for you about tomorrow's severe weather. Okay. I know it's just more than here, but a question, more rain-wrapped tornadoes, which that would more likely be. So, like I said, I do believe that there is going to be a lot more potentially rain-wrapped tornadoes here for tomorrow, because like I said, it's going to be firing off along a line. It's going to be a whole line of storms progressing to the east here. And the thing is, like I said, with those embedded rotating storms, those tornadic cells, is the fact that it's raining so hard, but the circulation is right under that rain core, which allows for essentially those rain curtains to wrap around them, essentially, which could be a big concern. My local TV station isn't very, very concerned about the severe weather. They're likely saying it's going to be a line that could be embedded tornadoes within the line. Yeah, that's basically what we are seeing here. Drew says also, I have a friend that's a storm chaser. Where would I suggest he go for tomorrow's risk? Like I said before, I really don't recommend anyone storm chasing unless if they have serious knowledge here. But if you're going for something, like I said, tomorrow's probably not going to be the best day. The reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, the potential of those tornadoes could be quite hard to see. But I will tell you that the biggest tornado threat here is across northeastern South Dakota and southeastern North Dakota, as well as the western side of Minnesota here. So that's our greatest chance here for tornadoes tomorrow. So that is what we are looking at. So we are going to continue to watch this, guys. I mean, seriously, today and tomorrow has a pretty big old chance here for severe weather. Let's go and see. R says liberal Kansas again. So here for today across Kansas, there is a risk across the western side. This is what we're talking. This is what we're talking about. Here's liberal right now. Southwestern side, you actually are inside of the 2 out of 5 severe threat. So it's something you got to watch out for a few isolated strong to severe storms could be possible within the area. Now, we'll be able to tell you that tornadoes is not a concern. This is mostly just for hail and damaging winds here. So just look out for a few storms nearby that could, potentially be, damaging in regard to damaging winds, as well as essentially maybe even some hail. Could be a concern out of these cells here for you. So stay safe. Like I said, this is for the western side of Kansas, inside of the risk for severe weather here for today. I mean, this stretches all the way down, pretty much into Mexico, but the risk only, or the U.S. outlook only ends right here on the western side of Texas and goes as far north here. I mean, look at this. As far north as near the Canadian line. So that is what we are talking about. So you guys, please be safe here. We are going to continue to watch this, guys, in which, seriously, this is something we got to definitely keep our eye out here for the next few days, because like I said, Mother Nature's not wanting to give up yet, and like I said, it's going to be this way for a while. I do expect, some pretty crazy weather to kick off here for the next, honestly, probably for a while. Let's go ahead and see here. Sammy says, be sure to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. Yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, first of all, obviously, welcome. Hope y'all are doing well, and glad to have all of y'all here for today. And I hope y'all are staying safe, and, most importantly, I hope you guys have a plan if severe weather is, are expected to be around your vicinity here for today. So that's what we're seeing here. So obviously, welcome. Hope you're doing well. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, y'all, consider hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. You guys will stay up to date on the latest weather information in regard to severe weather, all types of weather across the state. So we got you guys covered in regard to that. So we greatly appreciate it. It'll help out the channel, guys. So once again, thank you so much, and glad to have all of you all here for today. So we are currently seeing no active tornado warnings, which is definitely some good news. We did have a few earlier, though, which is, like I said, right now is nothing active in regard to tornado warnings, which is definitely good. But we do have ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here. Across bits of the region here in northwestern Iowa, northeastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, and southwestern Minnesota here. There is that tornado watch that is in effect here, guys, for the possibility of, obviously, some tornadoes could be possible. 60% chance they have it that a tornado could develop inside of this watch zone. So that's actually that's actually right there at a likely chance that tornadoes can develop inside the watch area. Like I said, a 60% chance across the whole entire outlook area here. of seeing a few tornadoes here for today across the whole entire watch here. Now, like I said, also, like I said, tornadoes being a concern, but also hail, maybe up to the size of egg size, could be possible. Like I said, about 2 inches. So, that's a pretty large hail. It's definitely enough to cause some damage here, as well as some wind gusts could get up to 75 miles per hour, which is equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane in regard to the wind gusts. So that is what we're seeing here. We got ourselves a new mesoscale discussion. So what that basically means is that they're considering to issue another watch. We'll see what happens. Like I said, that basically means that they're considering to issue another watch across the area, somewhere in the outlook region, probably most likely across the north, central portion here of Minnesota. We'll see what happens, but that is what we are seeing. So we'll continue watching this, guys. Like I said, this is going to be relatively widespread here across a lot of the country for today. We are actually expected to have some storms fire off across the western side of Texas here again. In regard to things, but right now, at least according to radar view or satellite view, here's a current active view here. Obviously, we are having ourselves that storm activity here across, indicated by those really vibrant white clouds that's going on here. But right here along this boundary that you see right here on the western side of Texas, there's nothing firing off here. Now, the models were actually showing us that by now we should have had some storms already firing off across these areas here. Now, do I expect this to still continue? Yes, I still expect that is going to happen, but we'll continue watching this here. We'll keep ourselves an eye on it. Like I said, it's definitely something we should consider, keeping an eye on. Like I said, guys, as we do track down here in time, and it does kind of look like, though, over the latest few frames here, it does look like that cloud, that cloud cover right where the boundary is becoming a lot more visible, which might be indicating that, that deepened moisture is starting to reach itself into the upper portions of the atmosphere. So that's something we got to continue watching, and usually what would happen next after this is some storms firing off here. So we'll continue to watch it. Models did even pick up on this, so it's definitely something we got to continue watching here for the next little bit. So that's what we are keeping out, or I guess we're keeping our eye on. But right now, we actually are monitoring a few severe storms that is ongoing currently. R says, I subscribe. Thank you so much. Really appreciated. Brent says, hello. What's up, Brent? Hope you're doing well, man. Suzanne says, hi. What's up, Suzanne? Hope you're doing well. All of you guys, thank you so much for joining us here for today. We are currently seeing a lot of crazy stuff happen. Suzanne, thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it once again. So like I said, just west here of the falls, we are currently seeing ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. It's really moving into the Interstate 90 corridor now, just south of Spencer, south of Salem, south of Montrose. So, this is a severe warned storm. Now, I tell you what, though, the severe warned storm is only cutting through half of the polygon. Now, areas such as Freeman, even though you're outside of the polygon, or you're inside the polygon, for the most part, you're clear, just considering the fact that essentially, the storm is well out of your region now. It's out of the region, so we'll look out for a possible update here relatively soon in regard to things, so we'll keep an eye on that. But like I said, near Bridgewater, near Canastota, this is currently still impacting the regions here, so we still got to continue watching this. Like I said, this is moving its way onto Interstate 90, something we got to continue to watch here. Like I said, just south of Salem, south of Spencer. Brent says, today is my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Brent. Hope you're doing well, and hope you're having a wonderful birthday here. Like I said, just northeast of that, we are actually seeing ourselves another severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for bits of Nunda, bits of Madison, Wentworth, as well as Coleman. Now, here's the thing about this cell. Now, the winds is not really expected to get up to 60 miles per hour. That's the thing. The winds is not really expected to get that bad. But here's the thing, though. Hail could be our main concern here. Hail is our main concern with this storm here, potentially getting up to quarter size. So we'll continue watching this. We'll keep our eye on this cell because this does have the potential of actually producing maybe some hail. Could be a concern. And like I said, we also do have ourselves another one here just north of Minneapolis. We are still continuing to monitor here in regard to things. So we'll keep on watching this. This actually showing some pretty impressive signatures here. They did upgrade the risk for this cell in particular. So this is now at a, obviously winds is not the main concern here, but actually hail is. And they actually upgraded this to ping pong ball size hail for areas such as just north of Lake Fairmont or Fremont here. Like I said, just east here of Princeton. This is something we got to continue watching here. This is actually showing some pretty nasty echoes, but this does expire in 3 minutes. We'll see what the National Weather Service does, if they want to extend this warning or not. SS, thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. So like I said, we'll see if they want to extend this warning. If they do, it'll likely include bits more northeast here. Like I said, just relatively just west of Cambridge and west of Pine City. Just basically just for the most part, riding nearly parallel to Interstate 35, but it kind of looks like it does have a bit of a northeasterly motion, so eventually this will intersect and go over Interstate 35. And if it does, it will likely do so between Rush City and Pine City. So between these areas here, so watch out the weather right now, because like I said, storms are not there yet. There is no active warning for you, but I will tell you, quite impactful storm. It could be getting ready to make its way across the region. So that's what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and see here. EC says, how's it going? Just wondering if anything severe is expected for the next few days. Thanks also. Any tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds ahead. Thanks again here in Stewart, Iowa. Well, obviously, I hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you back here again. So across the areas here, like I said, just west of Des Moines, for today, there is no active severe threat, but for tomorrow, you actually are in line for some possible severe weather. This does not include tornadoes, but it does include maybe some hail being a concern, as well as maybe some damaging winds as well, maybe being a concern here. So we'll continue watching this. They just upgraded this. I believe this is a 45% chance of seeing, that damaging wind risk. That's actually pretty concerning here, but it's still an enhanced risk. We'll keep an eye on it, guys. We'll see what this is going to do here. But like I said, today and tomorrow is actually going to play out pretty nasty here. We've already seen a few tornado warnings today, and hopefully we don't see any more here. But obviously, like I said, that's very, very unlikely that we won't see any more. Considering, like I said, they put a 60% chance probability of a tornado happening inside of the watch area. Like I said, this is across northeastern Nebraska, as well as northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, as well as southeastern South Dakota. They put a 60% probability of a tornado happening here. And like I said, that's more than likely. That's more than half likely. So it's most likely that essentially we will likely probably see maybe a possible tornado or two across the region here for today. Like I said, there's a 10% chance every 25 miles of seeing a tornado. So it's definitely something I got to continue watching here. Let's go ahead and see here. Kilroy says, howdy from Padre Island, Texas. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here. Obviously, hello here. And like I said, you guys, we're going to be here all day, at least for as long as possible, to give you guys the severe weather coverage here, because things is getting pretty crazy here. Like I said, Mother Nature is really firing off here. I mean, definitely not wanting to end here anytime soon. I mean, things are getting ridiculous. Abby says, why can't Mother Nature just ease up on weather like geez? Yeah, I know what you mean, Abby. It is looking pretty crazy here. And like I said, it's been doing this for quite a while now. It has been doing this for quite a while. So we do have ourselves some new information, y'all. We do have ourselves updated tornado watch here. So once again, like I said, this does include northeastern Nebraska, near Norfolk, as well as bits of West Point and stuff like that. But this is now canceled for areas such as West Point, Pender, bits of Plainview and Norfolk. So this is actually now canceled. The tornado watch is. They just now updated it, so that's just now does not include those regions. But there is still a tornado watch here in effect for most of us. Most of the originally watched area across northeastern Nebraska still, kind of near the city, the city here. Hardington as well as Bloomfield. Yeah, we are still inside of the watch here across northeastern Arkansas, and obviously covering a lot of southeastern, the majority here of southeastern, South Dakota, as well as southwestern portion here in Minnesota, and northwestern Iowa, actually here inside the watch as well. So we'll continue watching this, guys, because like I said, they actually put a 60% probability that a tornado could develop here, or tornado or two could develop here. Let's go ahead and see here. Yeah, but that's what we are seeing, guys, so we're going to continue watching this. Let's go ahead and see here. It's windy right now, 5 to 6. It says Emily in Florida. Well, stay safe, Emily. Like I said, we're going to be here for you guys, in regard to things. And like I said, right now here in Florida, there is no active severe weather here for today. There is a small thunderstorm chance here along the eastern coast. Areas such as Miami, moving all the way up to kind of near Fort Lauderdale. Kind of what it looks like here. Cocoa Beach here inside of this, Palm Bay. I mean, a lot of these areas here, Cape Canaveral being impacted here. So that is kind of what we are seeing. Just south of Daytona Beach has the possibility of maybe seeing a few storms today, but like I said, they're not expected to be severe by any means. So that is what we are looking at. So y'all, please be safe here. Like I said, today's going to be quite crazy. And like I said, tomorrow is going to be bad as well, in which we got to continue watching this here over the next little bit. Because, seriously, things are really firing off here. So here's some new information, y'all. We now have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that's in effect here. The ones that we just saw a second ago across, bits of southeastern South Dakota has now been canceled. That does include both of them. The one near Bridgewater, also the one near Coleman, is now canceled. However, still a strong thunderstorm is moving its way over Interstate 90 right now, likely causing some traffic delays probably. We'll see what's happening down there because, like I said, obviously heavy rainfall can obscure some visibilities here, so obviously that's a big concern in regard to things. But just north of Baltic, we're also starting to see this cell, or this big old cluster of storms here moving to the northeast here, including Interstate 29 as well. But that's what we're talking about. So we're going to continue watching this. Like I said, things are really getting crazy. So here we go. Here's a new severe thunderstorm warning that it looks like it just got re-extended here into bits of the east central portion here of Minnesota. This is just north of Minneapolis. This does include Cambridge as well as bits of Lake Fremont, as well as bits of Braham, as well as bits of Henriette as well, Brook Park, bits of Hinckley, I think it's how you or I don't even know how you pronounce that. Anyways, that's what we're seeing here across areas here such as Pine City. Like I said, I'm very, very bad at pronunciation, just so you all know. But across the region, we are seeing the possibility of maybe some gusty winds potentially getting up to near 50 miles per hour, if not anything lower than that. So some gusty winds, but they're not really there for severe winds. Is not the main threat, but actually hail is our main threat here. I mean, look at this. We're talking a potential we could see ping pong ball size hail out of this cell. Now, like I said, just west of Cambridge, east of Princeton, we are actively seeing ourselves a very strong line of storms. Like I said, these echoes here in the pinks, purples, and blues, this is showing us that we have ourselves some very strong, likely some hail that's falling out of the sky here right now. Like I said, this is relatively close to the radar too. I mean, we're right next to the radar here. Literally, I'd say just probably 30 minutes to the south here. So that's kind of what we're talking, or probably 30 miles to the south here. So this is, showing it relatively close to the ground too. So there's likely some hail that is ongoing here. Let's go ahead and see here. We have a special about hurricane season starting soon. Yeah, so we are expected to see hurricane season start next month. So we'll continue watching that. Jessica says, yo, what's going on? What's up, Jessica? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Matt says, do I think that the entire state of New Hampshire will see strong to severe storms on Monday afternoon? That's a good question here. So for Monday afternoon, obviously still is a few days out. Let's go and see if there's anything for the rest. So for today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it'll be day 6. There is nothing active in the long range for severe storms on Monday. So as of right now, based off of the category risk, there's nothing for you. But we'll continue watching it. Like I said, I have to take a look at models, which I'm not going to do in a live stream here. And if I did, like I said, well, I'll have to take a look at those, later on. So if you want me to look at more into that, like I said, just try to remind me later on. And I will try to get to it. So, like I said, guys, we are currently seeing ourselves some pretty nasty storms moving its way into the southeastern side here of South Dakota, northeastern Nebraska, northwestern portion here of Iowa, as well as southwestern Minnesota here. Across the dark green, yellow, and especially the orange is our greatest severe threat here for today. I mean, this does cover a lot of ground. I mean, this covers all the way down from the southern plains on the western side of Texas, all the way up to the upper state of Michigan and the northern portion here of Minnesota. This covers easily over 1,000 miles. I mean, seriously, this is well over 1,000 miles. I believe it's like 20-something hundred miles from east to west coast, from Los Angeles up here to Maine. But, like I said, this is easily covering at least 1,000 miles, probably a lot more, probably over 1,500 miles if we're being honest, covering a lot of ground here of severe weather for today. And like I said, right now we are monitoring the sky here on the satellite view. There is a bit of stuff that's happening near the boundary over the last few frames. Right around in here, we can obviously see those cloud covers starting to increase. This is actually showing us those cumulus clouds, those big puffy clouds are starting to form here across the region. So we got to watch out for those, because those could develop here soon, and they actually do have they do actually pose a risk here for today, as there is a slight risk here in effect. So that is kind of what we are talking about. Let's go ahead and see. We'll check to see anything crazy again, specifically Lubbock. So I will mention that Lubbock right now is inside of the second severe threat. 2 out of 5 severe threat here for today. So severe storms are possible around the region here towards Lubbock. Like I said, right now, like we were just looking on the satellite view, there's nothing really happening. There's nothing happening right now with those cells to your west. They're not even really kicking off yet. But I will tell you, though, over the last few frames, you can see those clouds are becoming way more visible here. Here's before and here's now. You can obviously see right here on the boundary side that these clouds are becoming more visible. This is where we are starting to see, potentially where these storms are going to fire off at, which, honestly, so we're going to watch out for, because these storms are expected to develop here over the next, little bit. I'd honestly say within the next hour, those cells will start to fire off here, and they probably will get pretty significant too. Like I said, there is a possibility they could be severe. But like I said, our greatest severe weather is expected here across bits of the upper Midwest. Like I said, areas such as Minnesota, bits of western Wisconsin, eastern South Dakota, as well as northwestern Iowa, and even portions of northeastern Nebraska here. But we'll keep our eye. Like I said, things are expected to continue to escalate from here on out. So we'll continue to see what this does. Let's go ahead and see here. Can high and low pressure affect how people feel? The answer is yes, it can. They can also cause headaches. I'm sure a lot of people get those. There's a lot of people that do. Just got home from school, says Jessica. Well, obviously, I hope you had a good day. New severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect here, just north of the falls here. This does include bits of Pipestone. This also does include Tyler, east of Elkton. This also does include Holland as well. So we are actually seeing, not really, like I said, not really a wind threat out of this cell in particular. Once again, this is across southwestern Minnesota. Not necessarily a damaging wind threat, but we actually are seeing ourselves mostly a hail threat here. Our hail threat is our main concern here, just north of Holland. Basically, potentially getting up to 1 1/4 inch here. That could be a concern. So we'll keep on watching this. We'll have our eye out here, guys, because definitely something we should continue watching. So we are seeing a possibility. Obviously, right here, where we're seeing just east of Pipestone, where we're starting to see the pinks and blues here popping up. This is where our hail is likely falling at the most part, because, like I said, the radar is scanning those, pretty large hailstones that's in the atmosphere right now, and is scanning them as they fall towards the surface. So that's how we're getting that, higher value coming in here. Grace says it's looking dark out. Well, stay safe, Grace. Let's go ahead and see. Drew says, "Well, I'll be live tomorrow." Yes, we will be live here tomorrow as well. John wants to know any storms for western Wisconsin. So here's the thing. Yes, western Wisconsin does have a very big threat here for severe weather for today. Like I said, especially just basically, like I said, near Rice Lake here, bits of Bloomer, as well as bits of Durand, River Falls, New Richmond, Grantsburg, etc. So across the regions here on the western side, where you see the orange, this is our greatest chance here. Actually, clocking in at the worst chance, one of the worst chances for severe weather for today, at a 3 out of 5 risk. Now, it's a 2 out of 5 across the yellow and a 1 out of 5 across the green. So this is actually a pretty big threat here for today. Like I said, across the western side of Wisconsin as well. So yeah, look out for that, John. Depending on where you're at, look out for your severe level, because like I said, this does include a lot of even central portion of Wisconsin as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. So if you have any further questions, man, let me know. So here's the thing. We are still monitoring ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here just directly north of Minneapolis. This does include Cambridge, bits of Mora, as well as bits of Pine City as well. We are watching this, so this is what we're looking at. So here's the thing, though. Like I said, damaging winds is not really a concern for the one near Mora and Cambridge and Princeton, but hail is potentially getting up to ping pong ball size hail. I mean, you guys probably know the size of a ping pong ball. That's essentially how big the hail is expected to get here. Now, like I said, towards Pine City, as well as some of these regions here to south of Sandstone here, we're actually seeing the hail being a concern as well, but also damaging winds being a factor as well. So you mix those damaging winds as well as ping pong ball size hail, you got yourself a pretty large massed object moving at pretty quick velocities, which can be a concern here. Grace wants to know what is the risk for tomorrow. So once again, tomorrow is actually having a pretty big risk here. All types of severe weather is possible, but it does cover a lot more of a lot more coverage area here for tomorrow. Now, tornadoes yet again is a 10% chance. We'll watch this. We'll continue watching this. Things could honestly really spark off here for tornadoes yet again across western Minnesota here, as well as basically southeastern North Dakota and eastern South Dakota here. Now, hail is also going to be a very large concern. 30% chance here we could have some pretty nasty hailers. And here we go. For damaging winds is actually our biggest concern here. 45% chance that we could see some damaging winds, likely over 70 miles per hour. Could be possible here for tomorrow. So definitely something we have got to watch out here very, very close. So like I said, guys, we are going to we're going to be here live here for tomorrow as well to give you guys the information that's needed. So we'll continue watching this, guys. So like I said, guys, if you're new to the channel, y'all, consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. Be greatly appreciated. You guys absolutely rock. Once again, thank you so much for being here. And once again, like I said, I do appreciate all your support. So that is what we are seeing here. Like I said, luckily things are not tornadic right now. We're seeing no tornado warnings that is in effect here, which is obviously a good thing. However, I will tell you though that they are certainly possible here for today. I mean, today is seriously a nasty day as well. I will tell you that today's tornado threat is equivalent to tomorrow's. So regardless, it's going to be quite crazy here over the next little bit. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Like I said, things are really heating up here across the weather world here. across the state. So we'll keep on monitoring it. We'll definitely keep our eye out here. So like I said, guys, obviously welcome. Hope y'all are doing well and hope you're staying safe. Now, if you know anyone across the dark green, yellow, and especially the orange regions here, let them know that severe weather is possible here for today in regard to, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. Now, tornadoes does not include, the central portion, just mostly across the Midwest here. But damaging winds does cover the whole entire, literally from top to bottom states here, as well as hail as well. Also being a big concern here for today. So all types of severe weather is a big old concern here, and some of these hail, some of these hail sizes could get pretty daggone large here, as well as, like I said, some tornadoes could be quite brutal as well. So we'll continue watching it. Hopefully that does not happen, but I will tell you, here across the pink bracket area, this is our tornado watch that's in effect here. They gave it a 60% overall of having a tornado within the watch box here. And like I said, this will be in effect here until 9 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. So we have ourselves a while to go here. Here we go. So they brought up that obviously a few tornadoes are likely is what it says here. I'll go ahead and show you guys what we're talking about. So here's what the watch shows us. Obviously, here's the watch we are looking at, but it does show us that moderate chance for tornadoes, low percent chance of them being EF2 and higher, and all moderate chances for all types of hail and all types of severe wind here. But that's what we're seeing. So obviously, look at this. This actually does show us though. Look at this. Primary threats include a few tornadoes are likely. So that's showing, like I said, they clocked us in here at a 60% chance of seeing a tornado across the watched area here, as well as, like I said, possibility of a few scattered damaging wind gusts, isolated significant gusts up to 75 miles per hour also being likely, which is a big concern, and scattered large hail and isolated very large hail to events up to 2 inches in diameter, which we've seen some pretty brutal hail today as well. So thunderstorms are expected to increase in intensity and coverage as we move basically more into the afternoon is essentially what it's talking about here, capable of all hazards, including very large hail and tornadoes. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Like I said, they're not really showing anything too friendly here. Like I said, tornado watch conditions are favorable for tornadoes, etc. So that's what we're talking about. So that's what we are seeing here. Like I said, the tornado watch does include the areas here inside the pink bracket across northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, basically southeastern South Dakota, and northeastern Nebraska. So that is what we are talking about. Let's go ahead and see here. Let's go see, not Minneapolis, says Mary. So, yeah, it is in Minneapolis. There is actually a severe threat here for Minneapolis for today. You are actually in a severe threat level 3 out of 5, the greatest chance here for severe weather. Now, tornadoes, you have a 5% chance within 25 miles of having a tornado near you, but you're not in the watch zone. Let's go ahead and see here. What's up, Jenny? Hope you're doing well. Daniel says hi, y'all. What's up, Daniel? Hope you're doing well as well, or great as well. Let's go ahead and see. Jenny also says, congratulations on 3,000 subs. Thank you so much, because I appreciate it. Mary says, am I connected with a convoy? Wondering. Nope, I am not. I am not connected there. So, but like I said, we also do have ourselves another severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for bits of Pipestone, bits of Tyler, bits of Holland as well. Woodstock also included. Now, here's the thing, like I was talking about, hail is the main concern here. Damaging winds is not. The winds are expected to be under severe criteria, being 58 miles per hour or more. They're basically saying they could just maximally get up to 50 miles per hour, which is not the severe criteria. Just look out for a few gusty winds still being possible across the area. But like I said, 1.25 inch hail is our biggest concern here. Like I said, potentially getting up to $half size hail is what we are seeing with this cell. Like I said, this does include Holland, bits of Pipestone, Tyler, bits of Ruthven, as well as bits of Woodstock as well. So we are watching this cell. Like I said, this is literally across the extreme southwestern side of Minnesota, being right here, basically just directly east of Brookings. So that's what we're seeing. Obviously, we have ourselves another set of severe thunderstorm warnings that is in effect here. It's north of Minneapolis. I'd say at least 30 miles to the north. This does include Cambridge, bits of Pine City, Brook Park. A lot of these areas here across, like I said, just directly north of Minneapolis. This will impact Interstate 35 here in the long run. Like I said, mostly between Pine City and Rush City, we are seeing ourselves a pretty impressive signature. You can see right here indicated by the purples and blues. If this is going to continue on its track, it kind of looks like it might actually move into Rush City or near it relatively in the next, I'd say honestly, the next hour, probably a half hour to 40 minutes or so. And if this does hold up, if it does sustain what it's currently producing, we could actually see some hail here on Interstate 35, which hopefully that's not a thing, because that would definitely cause some travel disruptions and, obviously things with hail. So let's see here. Mary says, wow, it looks bad. Thank you for doing Sky Aware. Well, you're very, very welcome, Mary. Like I said, I got all of you guys covered here for today. Like I said, from the top to the states all the way to the bottom here. Now, the cells that we're monitoring here, or keeping an eye out for, I should say, across the southern plains is not developing yet. Now, the models did actually have this thing picked up, maybe showing some, maybe showing the storms being fired off by now, but right now that is not the case. But I do tell you what, they're probably going to do it shortly. If you look back here, there's obviously no clouds right now, but you can see they're becoming way more visible over the last few scans. Now, that's more of that deep moisture starting to move its way into the cooler environment. So pretty soon, I do believe that cells will start firing off here. Like I said, within this hour, I'm pretty sure the things will kind of kick off here. So we'll keep an eye on this. Like I said, this is expected to fire off here across, eastern New Mexico and bits of, Texas as well. So we'll continue watching this. But, I can tell you right now we are actively seeing our cells fire off here across the Midwest for right now. Let's go and see. Mary says, second time been hit with straight line winds in county. Well, anyways, I don't know how to pronounce that. Well, Mary, stay safe. Obviously, it's pretty crazy. Let's go and see here. William wants to know, what does coastal South Carolina look like for Thursday and Friday? That's a good question here. So for the outlook here for Thursday, being tomorrow, there's no chance of severe thunderstorms, or like I said, there's no active outlook for severe thunderstorms across the Carolinas. But we are monitoring the possibility of a few thunderstorms across the eastern side. Now, like I said, does this mean they're going to be severe? No. This is just our generalized thunderstorm threat, basically showing that, hey, a few average thunderstorms could fire off across the region. Now, there could still be some lightning, maybe some gusty winds, and maybe some small hail. Obviously, that's just normal thunderstorm activity. But it's not expected to be, damaging in regard to things. But that is what we're talking about. So tomorrow, it's definitely a possibility here of a few storms. Now for Friday, on the other hand, Friday, same thing, only across the entire state, which, like I said, for the most part, not expected to be severe. So you should be in the clear in regard to severe storms. Our severity is mostly clocked in here across the Central Plains into the Midwest. That's our biggest threat here in regard to, severe weather here over the next few days. Like I said, today and tomorrow, tomorrow's coverage zone is going to be a lot more larger with more, pretty bad storms being likely as well. So, but like I said, right now, guys, we are monitoring ourselves a few active warnings. Now, luckily, at the moment, there's none that are tornado warned. That's what we want to hear. So, we want to keep out on this. I will tell you, though, before we went live here, just a little bit ago, there was actually an active tornado warning. A few of them, actually. We've already seen a few tornado warnings pop up here for today. But right now, luckily, there is none that's happening right now. So that's definitely some good news for sure. But like I said, I don't expect that to last for long. As these storms, like I said, as we progress here into the evening hours, the surface is just getting more hotter, which is basically favoring the development of severe thunderstorms, which ultimately could cause, like I said, could cause some potentially more rapid development, more quick and more coverage development across the areas here for today, in which things is going to get pretty hairy here. Let's go ahead and see here. Jenny says, please hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, y'all, hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate y'all. So once again, thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, I got you guys covered for today. We do have ourselves some non-thunderstorm wind gusts being reported here just east of Albuquerque. Wow, look at this. So Albuquerque is actually showing a almost near 80-mile-an-hour wind gust has been reported by an ASOS station, basically just a basically a weather station there, has been reported a 79-mile-an-hour. Pretty crazy here. Mary says, have no sun out in Minneapolis. Like I said, yeah, it's starting to kind of fire off here. If you take a look at the satellite view here across Minneapolis, you can obviously see that there is a lot of overcast conditions. And just to your southwest, we're starting to see a lot of that thunderstorm development. Those latest plumes is actually starting to mature itself, in which things is going to, seriously going to get pretty crazy. But that is what we are seeing. So we'll keep our eyes on it, guys. Seriously, pretty crazy here. So once again, y'all, like I said, we are currently seeing ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here across the northeastern side of Nebraska, southeastern side of South Dakota, southwestern, bits of Minnesota, and northwestern Iowa. So that is what we are talking about. So guys, we're going to keep an eye on it. Like I said, we have had a few tornado warnings here today so far, which hopefully that's the last of them. But like I said, I really doubt that is going to be the last of them. Right now, we are seeing ourselves some active severe weather that is ongoing here. Mostly just a hail concern is happening right now, but obviously some of these storms could have the potential of maybe showing, maybe showing maybe some damaging winds as well as obviously some hail and maybe a few tornadoes could be possible. Like I said, once again, they did issue a 60% probability. A 60% probability of seeing maybe a tornado within the watch area here. So we'll keep an eye on it, guys. Seriously, definitely something to watch out for. So we also do have ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning that is just north of Minneapolis here in regard to things. So that's what we're seeing here. Mary says we had a tornado touchdown, notice in North Minneapolis years ago. Well, that's pretty crazy. Let's go and see here when will storms start firing up here in across the region here, says Grace, in Minnesota for today. Let's go and take a look across the region. I will be able to pull up the future radar, except that my phone is doing this stupid thing where it loves to mess up. So I'll tell you what, I should probably pull it up here on here. So let's go and see here what's going on in Minnesota. I'll be able to pull up the time and when we are expecting essentially those cells to fire off. So this is across this is near Minneapolis for the most part, it kind of looks like. So let's zoom into the future radar, at least according to your NAM 3-kilometer model. Now I'll tell you what though, we're going to zoom into the north central U.S. because obviously that's where we are seeing the storms fire off right now. Now the time currently is, let's go and see here, it's currently 4:30 basically here in the central time zone. So we'll go ahead and switch to 5 because basically between 5 and 6 is kind of what we're seeing here right now. Now it does kind of show this line heading over Minneapolis here, at least according to this model, by around 6 to 7. Honestly, I'd probably say between 6 and 8 for you, as whenever these cells can fire off across the region. I mean, honestly, probably a little bit more than that. Probably between 5 and 7 would be my best guess of when these storms are going to fire off. Yeah, that's probably the best thing, between 5 and 7 across the region for you, Grace. So we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, I'll also take a look at the HRRR as well, because obviously looking at one model is kind of a bit biased in some standpoints here, because like I said, they're not perfect. Yeah, I mean, this model's kind of showing relatively the same idea as well as like I said, maybe the storm's kind of heading over between 5 and 7. So that's what we are seeing here. Like I said, regardless, things are going to get pretty nasty. Now, for the cells down south, like I said, we are expecting some cell development here. Latest HRRR really doesn't show much happening. That's the thing here. Latest HRRR doesn't really show anything crazy happening. Maybe a few convective blooms here on the western side of the state. But here's the thing here. In regard to our NAM 3-kilometer model, they show a lot more violent, as you may have noticed here on our thumbnail. So like I said, this is actually showing us, literally right now, it's currently 5 Eastern, and this is what's supposed to be happening here at 5, according to the latest model here, which is definitely kind of wrong, because here's what we're seeing here in regard to the active satellite view. Here's what we're seeing right now in regard to satellite. I mean, things are, obviously, they're starting to kind of show up here. We have that boundary becoming a lot more visible, but essentially, but right now, I mean, seriously, right now, no severe thunderstorms are popping off here at the moment, but we are starting to see that boundary becoming more and more visible, which might be an indicator that we could see some storms firing off here shortly. So we'll continue seeing this. So, but we'll keep an eye on this. Let's go and see here. Giant supercell, says Joel. Yeah, it does look pretty crazy. 8,000 cape. I don't think it's 8,000 cape. That's a little bit overkill. But I do know there's a lot of instability that is in the atmosphere here for today. But that's what we're talking about, guys. So definitely keep our eye on this here, guys, because yeah, things are probably going to get pretty crazy. Now, there is a slight risk for severe weather here for today, across bits of western Texas. Now, here we go. Now, there's a bit of maybe some thunder showers right now. Like I said, they're not really matured yet. But like I said, as we move down into the threat here for later on today, I do expect these to mature a little bit more. I mean, obviously, here we go. There's stuff already happening here, but like I said, once again, they're far from severe. They are literally nothing severe right now, and they're likely just mostly just showers happening. Mostly just showers. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder could be possible here and there, but for the most part, y'all, it's mostly just showers. But like I said, I do expect those to mature as we track down further down into today. So we'll continue watching this, you guys. Let's go ahead and see your tornado chasers in South Dakota. Let's go see. Melissa says, what is a severe threat for Kansas City on Friday? That's a good question here. So for Friday, being day 3, across Kansas City, there is actually ourselves a severe threat level 2 out of 5 across the region here in Kansas City. Now, what that means is essentially, here's actually what the risk category means, according to the Storm Prediction Center. We'll go ahead and take a look at that here right now. I'm going to switch to Friday here for you. So here's what we're talking about. So near Kansas City, what a yellow means is basically scattered, short-lived, and isolated intense storms could be possible. According to that, the thing we're looking at here is basically explaining what each category of risk means. Now, for today, we have numerous, persistent, and a few intense storms. That's for 3 out of 5 severe threat here for today. So that is what we are talking about. So, but that's what we're seeing, guys. That is what we are looking at. So, y'all, please be safe here. Like I said, today's this is for Friday, by the way. Here's for tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually looking pretty nasty as well. Also, a larger 3 out of 5 severe threat, covering a lot more ground compared to today's concerns, which you can see is obviously a little bit more smaller than tomorrow's enhanced risk is expected to be. So that's what we are looking at. That's what we are going to continue watching. Like I said, this is seriously going to impact a lot of the country. I mean, look how far this goes up north. I mean, this literally goes into all the way from Canada all the way down to Mexico. Is how far this whole line is expected to be. I mean, obviously you can see it get cut off here, but that's because, I mean, this is a U.S. forecast office. They're not going to be forecasting for Canada, obviously, but just by taking a look at the outlook area here, it just cuts off, which that's not how naturally these outlooks work, for one, and two, the models are also supporting the possibility of that. So, but that's what we are seeing here. We'll continue watching this. We're going to be live here tomorrow as well. And like I said, this does include some pretty popular areas here across the enhanced risk. The greatest chance here, like I said, numerous, persistent, and a few intense storms is possible across the orange. Now, this does include Minneapolis yet again, as well as bits of St. Paul, Sioux Falls, as well as Fargo, North Dakota, and Sioux City, Iowa here. So this does cover some pretty populated areas here, following with that 2 out of 5 severe threat. Still expected to be severe, though. I mean, really anything, like I said, even in the green, is expected to be quite crazy. So, but that is what we are talking about. Like I said, even down here in Louisiana, we have ourselves a relatively small marginal risk here, but in regard to that, mostly just damaging winds is a concern. But look at this, already a 10% chance here for tornadoes tomorrow. Damaging winds being up to 45% chance. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a potential. We could have some very large, extreme damaging winds here. I do probably expect this to be upgraded to a moderate risk by tomorrow. It's definitely very likely that we will see a 4 out of 5 severe threat, including widespread, long-lived, and intense storms. Lower-level jet definitely does support it. There's definitely a pretty strong jet stream that's going to be, roaring up a whole bunch of moisture here from the south, which is going to allow for really for things to kick off here and get pretty nasty. Honestly, I do expect potentially of this tornado threat being upgraded to significant. We'll see what happens here. That's my personal forecast anyways, and obviously hail here being clocked in at a significant 30% risk, which is showing us we could have some very large hailers yet again, not just for today, but for tomorrow as well, across bits of the Dakotas into Nebraska. But that is what we are talking about. Now here for day 3, like I said, for Friday, here's where that day comes in, but there is no breakdown. It's more of a percentage chance here, and nothing else happening over the next several days here, as predictability is too low. Now, that does not mean that anything severe won't happen. It just means that it's still a little bit too far out to be able to tell exactly what it's going to materialize into, but we'll just keep an eye on it, and we'll see exactly what it's going to do here over the next few days, because obviously our main concern is what's going to happen here for today and tomorrow, so that is what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and see here. I got some more things going here. So Jakey says, keep an eye on Mother Nature. I will. Red Scout says, I love it when a fellow in a hoodie sitting in a room can do a far better job than overpaid dummy on TV in a suit. Well, that's seriously a good compliment. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it, Red Scout. Like I said, I'm here for you guys. Bear Angel says, hi, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Melissa says, yep, lived in Kansas for years and never seen a tornado. I'm hoping one day I'm fascinated by them. Well, hopefully, if you do experience one, hopefully you are a far distance away. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and see. Nice weather where you're at, Jenny. Let's see. Grace says, geez, Minnesota can't get a break with this week. That's for sure. I mean, yesterday we've seen severe weather across Minnesota. I believe the day before even as well. And like I said, for today and tomorrow, yet again, is going to be significant for more severe weather here across areas. Like I said, we have ourselves a enhanced risk for today as well, but look at the size difference. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and draw this on my screen just to kind of show you guys the size difference of this. So here's today's risk. I'll draw it in black, and I'll draw tomorrow's risk here in yellow, or actually I'll draw them both in black here. But here's tomorrow's. I mean, look how much larger this does cover. There's actually some overlapping and enhanced risk. I'll even draw this in blue just to kind of show you where they're overlapping here. So we really have back-to-back enhanced risk. Like I said, multiple rounds of severe weather expected here between today and tomorrow. I mean, look at this. This covers a lot of the same area here across Minnesota. So Minnesota is going to get hit pretty crazy here. I mean, obviously, it's a pretty big concern. So we got to watch out for this, you guys. I mean, seriously, things could get pretty nasty. Let's go ahead and see here. Inky says, Greetings from India. Wow, I think that's the first person we've had from India. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Hello from the other side of the world, essentially. Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. And it's pretty. It's definitely really cool to see other people from around the world. I mean, we've had people all the way from Germany. We've had people. We've had UK, Sweden. We've had so many places here. Obviously, the U.S., Canada. We've had Mexico as well, and now India. Well, definitely really cool to have for sure. Well, obviously, hope you're doing well. Let's go and see your Inky says rainy, but tornadoes not common. Yeah, that's the fact for sure. I mean, like I said, across the states is where we get a lot of tornadoes here. But obviously glad to have you here, Inky. Hope you're doing well. But like I said, you guys, currently right now we have ourselves 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here that is in effect here. Like I said, mostly just for hail concerns here. Like I said, just north of Minneapolis here. We are seeing ourselves, here we go. Now they're actually more of a damaging wind concern here. So one of this will expire here in 27 minutes, the one near Cambridge. So this is for 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So the winds could get they could gust up to 60 miles per hour, as well as the hail could potentially be, here, maybe up to the size of $half size. I mean, you guys probably know the size of a $half, slightly bigger than an inch. If you don't know what a $half looks like, or if you've never seen one before, just imagine a little bit bigger than an inch here, at 1 quarter inch hail being possible. That's definitely enough to cause some damage here, especially if you mix it in with your damaging winds here. I mean, you got to think here, if you have a large amount of hail, big heavy ice. I mean, seriously, these are pretty heavy too. Heavy ice moving at 60 miles an hour, that's definitely enough to cause some damage here. Also for the northeast, for the same cell, just an extension of the warning here for Pine City, bits of Rock Creek here, bits of Grantsburg as well. This is also for 60 mile an hour, so the winds could get up to, does not mean it's going to be constant 60 miles per hour, but it could get up to 60 miles per hour here across the area. Also, the hail could also be, like I said, the size of a $half or 1 1/4 inch hail is what we're talking about. Let's go and see here. Into Fire says, hello, I'm new. I hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here. So let's go and see here. So like I said, guys, we're going to be here for y'all. So y'all please be safe here. Let's go and see, will this ever reach Houston? So, like I said, across Houston here for the next little bit, here's Houston right down here in eastern Texas. Now, over the next several days, including today, we are far away from the severe weather here across Houston, so we are in the clear, my friend. There's nothing on the horizon right now for severe weather in Houston, so you're good for now. But if anything does pop up, we'll definitely let you know, because like I said, we do live streams here every day to inform you guys in regard to things, but that is what we are talking about. Let's go ahead and see, was there any jet planes flying over the spring engineer? I have no idea what you're talking about there. Let's go and see. Nick says, I'm curious about the direction of southern storms in Minnesota, actually. So, here's what we're talking about. So, the cells are moving here in southern Minnesota to really kind of to the north, it looks like. Like I said, we have that really strong northerly component, that strong jet stream from the south, pulling up a whole bunch of moisture here into the upper portions of the Midwest. And this is causing, obviously, that lower level component to dominate the overall wind shear that's in the atmosphere, causing majority of these cells to move to the north as regard to what we are seeing here. But yeah, that's what we are seeing here, so I'm glad to have you here, Nick. Hope you're doing good, man. Let's go and see your Into Fire. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Yeah, Dallas, Texas is looking pretty good. Bear wants to know, when I go to the radar, could I please say what state I'm looking at? Thanks. Yeah, I got you covered here. So like I said, right now we're looking at the radar here. This is here in Minneapolis. So this is the radar in Minnesota. We can zoom out here. This is Minnesota right here. I know probably some of you guys don't know all your states, so I should probably start mentioning the states as well. It's probably a good idea in regard to things. But that is what we are looking at, so keep an eye on this. Let's go ahead and see here. Is northeast Minnesota going to get hit? So the answer of that is actually yes, depending on how northeast you're talking about. Kind of near Silver Bay, as well as bits of Elia, or however you want to pronounce that, near Cook and Hibbing. There is actually a threat here for severe weather for today. For tomorrow, there's also a greater chance. So across northeastern Minnesota, tomorrow is a bigger chance of seeing severe storms than compared to today. But across southwestern side of Minnesota, there's actually obviously ourselves a back-to-back enhanced risk, a back-to-back crazy risk we're talking about. Let's go ahead and see, how is Wichita, Kansas looking like for the next few days. So here's where Wichita Let's go take a look here at Wichita, Kansas, which is located right here. So for today, actually for today right now, there is no threat for severe weather, but for tomorrow, there's a small risk, a 1 out of 5 severe risk. And if we look back on the Storm Prediction Center, what that 1 out of 5 severe risk means is essentially, actually that's the wrong thing. Let's go to the Storm Prediction Center. What it means is that, like I said, isolated, limited in duration and coverage. So a few isolated severe storms are possible. Basically, isolated being here and there, kind of more sporadic, I should say, more discrete. I should probably mention, like I said. But it's still possible that we could see a few severe storms across Wichita, Kansas here for tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow's being your big threat. For Thursday, though, or sorry, for Friday, we have ourselves an upgraded threat to a 2 out of 5. So that's where things start to get a little bit more pushy here, a little bit more severe in regard to things here for Friday. And here's what that also means on the storm prediction. That means now it's more scattered, short-lived, and a few intense. A few discrete instance cells could be possible across the area here for Friday. So like I said, it's just not for today. I mean, people might just think that today is just a severe weather day, but tomorrow is honestly looking pretty bad as well. We are going to continue watching this. Let's go ahead and see here. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good as well. Let's go see. Inky says subscribe. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Melissa says I'm so glad I found this channel. Subscribe. Thank you so much, Melissa. So hopefully that helped you guys out in regard to things. Let's see here. Nick says copy that. Thanks. You're very, very welcome. Lauren says I'm in Woodstock now. Have info blowing straight over the Iowa border. Yeah, it's probably quite warm as well, I'm assuming, for sure. Red Scout says Jenny is a good fellow right there. Yep. PG says hello. What's up, PG? Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here. So like I said, guys, an active update for y'all in terms of what is happening here live. Currently, there's no active tornado warnings, which is some great news, but we do have ourselves a tornado watch here inside the pink bracket. You guys might be wondering what this pink bracket is. This is ourselves a tornado watch that is in effect here across a lot of states. This does include northeastern Nebraska here. Basically, the eastern side or southeastern side here of South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, as well as northwestern Iowa. This is in effect here across the regions here for today until 9 o'clock Central Time. If you're following on the Eastern Time like I am, the time in the bottom left-hand corner down there is an Eastern Time. So just subtract an hour, so it's currently 4:38 right now. So like I said, but that is what we are seeing here. So this will be until 9 o'clock Central Time. Local time here, where the watch is, will be until 9 o'clock, okay? Wanted to make that clear for you guys. So that's what we're talking about. So, like I said, also just to the northeast, like I said, we're actively dealing with 0 tornado warnings, which is some great news. We did have a few that were actually in effect earlier, but right now there is no tornado warnings, which is great. But we do have ourselves 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for the same cell here. Basically saying, hey, we could see some pretty damaging winds here, maybe up to, what the winds could get gust up to, maybe up to 60 miles per hour. That's the thing a lot of people mistake, is that do they think that this is going to be constant winds? This is not constant constant winds here. This is not sustained. This is wind gusts. They could gust up to 60, but even a wind gust up to that magnitude can actually cause some severe weather, some severe, damage in regard to specific objects outside. So recommend that you remain inside during any severe thunderstorm warning, and obviously stay away from windows as well. That's definitely the best thing you can do. But that is what we are looking at. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Also, like I said, not to mention, not only is hail a concern, not only is damaging winds a concern, but hail is as well. Like I said, both of these clocked in at the same criteria here, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and 1.25-inch hail, basically showing that the hail could get up to basically the size of a $50. If you don't know what the $50 size is, like I said, just basically 1.25. But that is what we are seeing here. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. So let's see here. 90 degrees Fahrenheit right near in northern Indiana. It's hot. Well, stay safe, G-Bro. Let's go ahead and see. I see the Matt's here. What's up? Hope you're doing well. I was going to see Assert says Suex Falls here. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here, and stay safe, man. So once you, like I said, guys, hope y'all are doing great. Hope you guys are, doing all right. Hope you guys are staying safe here. And like I said, you guys, if you're new to the channel, y'all hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated, guys. Seriously, I do appreciate all your support here for today. And like I said, we're going to be live here for a while as these storms do continue to progress here down in time. Because like I said, this is going to be covering a lot of today. Let's go ahead and see. Melissa says, am I expecting a major tornado outbreak within the system? So, in regard to a major tornado outbreak, I would have to probably say it's unlikely for a major tornado outbreak to occur, but I will tell you there's a very large chance of having tornadoes here today and tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. Here both for today and tomorrow, I'll go ahead and show you guys back on the Storm Prediction Center here. So we're going to go back to today's risk. So this is for today. Tornadoes is a 10% chance. Okay, this is actually our non-significant chance. So basically showing us this generalized threat of 10% chance of seeing tornadoes across the yellow shaded area here. Now for tomorrow, it's the same risk, but honestly that 10% chance is a little bit more smaller. So what we're seeing here is actually maybe today, tornadoes could be our biggest concern here. So that is what we are talking about. So that's what we are looking at, guys. So we're going to keep an eye on this. So like I said, I don't expect them to be essentially, anything, no severe tornado outbreak is expected. But I will say that, obviously the potential of tornadoes is quite high for the most part across the Midwest and the upper Midwest here. Let's go ahead and see here. Susan says, looking for info later tonight south of Red Wing, Minnesota, in the campground where the only shelter is cement toilet. Well, that's not good. Well, obviously, Susan, it would probably be best if you do scope out, another good place to go to. So let's go take a look here at Red Wing. I've seen Red Wing here yesterday quite a bit. Now I don't remember exactly where that's at, but let's take a look at it. Red Wing here. This is in Minnesota. Here we go. This is now popping up here. So this is basically near Hagar city here. So this is okay. This is across just south of Minneapolis. It looks like I had a feeling it was in the south. Oh, it's literally right there. It's literally right there. League of Shadows. Thank you so much for subscribing. I literally could have saw it right there. But we are actually seeing ourselves an active threat here for severe weather in regard to timing with these cells. So I tell you what. I'll go ahead and show you guys what the future radar is looking like right now. I mean, these are some pretty nasty cells that's pulling up here on the infrared view in regard to things. Kind of showing that, that area moving its way towards the Red Wing area. Maybe a few storms firing off here, maybe around, within the next few hours, according to this. But the big line is not expected to move through. It kind of looks like until between 7 and 9, I would assume. 7 and 9 is kind of we are expected to see maybe the worst, move its way through. But that is what we are looking at. So let's go ahead and see. Those storms died in Michigan. They sure did. Let's go ahead and see here. Oof, Marshall's getting pounded. Well, stay safe. Let's go see. Portland says, what time will I be done for today? So I'm probably going to be live here until the majority of the storms die out. I'm probably going to be here until the nighttime hours. I do expect to be here for a long time. Like we were live here for, I believe, 5 hours yesterday and 7 hours the day before. So this has been becoming a full-time job for me, considering, we've been booked here for a long time, and even tomorrow, it's expected to get pretty daggone crazy here. I do have a question coming in here wanting to know about Eastern Texas. Now, Eastern Texas is not looking like anything's going to happen here over the next several days. In regard to our outlook status, all the events that's happening right now in severe weatherland is on the western side of Texas here. Like I said, obviously the dark green showing the lowest in severe threat here, but it doesn't really go any more farther. I mean, everything's just west of Dallas, essentially, west of Houston, in regard to that. But that is what we are looking at. That is what we are seeing, guys. So let's go see. Judy wants to know any bad weather for Illinois. Let's go take a look here at Illinois. So there actually is a severe threat for Friday, but let's take a look at the current imminent threats here. Today, no. Tomorrow, no as well. So yeah, watch out for Friday, especially the more further northwest you go into the state here of Illinois, is the more severe it does get across the regions here. Like I said, this does include, I believe this is near Davenport. So this is we are looking at here, just basically west of Chicago. Now, Chicago is right there next to that severe line. So look out for a few strong to intense storms could be possible. So we'll continue watching this. But like I said, the majority of Illinois does have the potential of maybe seeing some severe weather here, but your big day is going to be on Friday. Like I said, right now for today, our big threat is across the upper portions of the Midwest, and that's what we are looking at. So that's what we're seeing, guys. That is what we are seeing here at the moment. Let's go ahead and see here. Chris says, awesome, thanks. You're very, very welcome. Let's see here. PG says, here's potential for tornadoes right now. I can't imagine how bad it'll be Thursday. Now, here's the thing. PG, right now, it's actually clocking in. Like I said, right now, it's clocking in to basically a 10% chance, a non-significant, chance for tornadoes. So it is actually a bigger chance as we can actually look at it right now. I'll tell you what, we'll look at today's and tomorrow's severe threat in regard to things here. We're just going to take a look at that here right now. So here's what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and switch on over to the Storm Prediction Center view here. So here's today's risk. Okay, so this does a 10% chance. Obviously, the greatest chance here for seeing tornadoes is across the area here in yellow. So let's go ahead and draw a little circle around this area here. But look at tomorrow's. Look at tomorrow's risk here. I'm going to remove that because it's probably too big. But for tomorrow's risk, the tornadoes are actually a little bit lower. I mean, obviously, the overall tornado chance here is actually maybe a little bit bigger, but the greatest tornado threat is a little bit lower compared to that. So, but that is what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and see. So, Jason says, I wanted to donate yesterday and would have if you had Super Chat set up. I don't want to use a off YouTube account. Sorry. No trusting in. Use Google Pay. Well, the thing is that, Jason, you sign into your YouTube account for it to work here. But obviously, it's all right, man. You don't have to. Let's go ahead and see here. Seeking wants to know about Western Texas here towards Lubbock. So, moving on over here towards Lubbock, we'll tell you that essentially here across Lubbock, let's go take a look here down towards Texas. Now, what's going on right now is essentially there's kind of looks like the things might be starting to kind of fire off here, but Lubbock itself is inside a severe threat level 2 out of 5. Like I said, that basically just means this right here. Let's go ahead and pull this up once again really, really briefly, quickly. So Storm Prediction Center basically shows us here scattered, short-lived, and isolated intense storms could be possible across bits of Lubbock here. But you're kind of right there on that sharp gradient line. I mean, really not far away from the generalized thunderstorm threat, as well as the 2 out of 5 severe threat. So it's kind of a big gradient line. We're starting to see a lot of these cells firing off here now in western Texas, but they are not severe, and they are far from it. They have a lot more to to continue to do as we do progress down here in time. Let's go ahead and see. But that's what we're looking at here, Seeking, so stay safe. Let's go ahead and see here. PG says, I'm not even near Iowa, but there is a real small chance here we'll stay safe. Drew says, tomorrow severe storms are a majority in evening, or could they be a couple afternoon, like the ones in eastern Nebraska? That's a great question. So for that, we're going to have to take a look here at the future radar. We're going to take a look at that here right now. So let's go ahead and tune on in here, guys, to the future radar. Like I said, this is here in the eastern time zone on the bottom left-hand corner, so just letting you all know. So here's what's happening right now. I mean, obviously we have our cells firing off here right across bits of Minnesota currently. Now, for tomorrow, it does kind of show the same thing happening. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. So this is going to be obviously a very large, a whole long line of storms, rather than like today, more isolated possibly. Like I said, today's storms are kind of more isolated. You can kind of see here, more discrete, more individual cells. But for tomorrow, they're all going to fire off as a line, as you can see, stretching all the way down from Kansas all the way up here into the upper portions of the upper Midwest. I mean, literally driving its way even into Canada. You can barely see here, but it is there, which is actually pretty daggone crazy. In regard to things here now, in regard to timing, you're wondering here, it kind of shows those cells really start to kind of fire off here, maybe around 3 o'clock Eastern. This would be 2 o'clock Central, so it's going to be a late afternoon, early evening event is whenever these are going to fire off, and they're going to continue here into. It kind of looks like they're not going to last for long, and it kind of looks like they're going to die out before midnight, at least according to this model. Now, like I said before, you really can't trust. You really can't just trust one model individually, but this is really the only one we have that really goes out this far, that well. So, but we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, I will tell you this though. Across the south, we're going to switch back down here to the Southeastern U.S. It is showing that there would have been thunderstorms firing off here across, Texas right now, which there's really not as impressive as they are showing right now, anyways. So. That's something to take in consideration when you're viewing models, is that they're not perfect, they're far from it, and actually, like I said, they're more used for guidance in terms of a possible outcome of what could happen more than what's expected to happen here. So that's basically what models are there for. None of them are perfect. Now, in order to get the best, most accurate data, you have to blend all those models together, look for their similarities and differences. Obviously, similarities are going to be a most likely candidate of what's going to play out in regard to things, but that is what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and see here. So we got some more comments coming on in here. Okay, we got some. Okay, obviously, here we go. What's the weather looking like in Pennsylvania on Saturday? So there's nothing looking severe for Pennsylvania. I can tell you that right now. That's all we're looking at right now, James. Let's go here. Jason, I wanted to use Google Pay. I don't have a credit card to either donate. That's good, man. Didn't mean to offense by that. No, you're good. I didn't take any offense to it. I just wish you would set up. Yeah, I think YouTube has to be a certain amount of subscribers in order to set up that thing, but unfortunately, I'll look into it more later, and maybe I can transfer that over to. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what we're looking at Let's go and see. Matt says, can I please pull up some soundings for us on Friday? We're not going to look at the models right now, Matt. That's a lot. I have to pull them up and line everything up. We're not going to do that right now, Matt. It's probably going to be hit by some thunderstorms tomorrow. Well, stay safe, Jakey. Let's go and see. Your tomorrow looks more probable for me for tornadoes. Well, stay safe there as well. Let's go ahead and see. I got some more. Just looked at a regular future radar, and those storms will boom near Minneapolis. They will. They seriously will. So we're going to continue watching this as they do progress into Minneapolis here, or on the eastern side of, the eastern portion here of Minnesota. So we'll keep an eye on it, because the models are showing some things really kind of kick out. So that's what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and see. In Manitoba, by the way. Well, stay safe, Jakey. Let's go and see here. So get more subscribers. Yep. Like I said, guys, I can only do that with y'all. So if y'all do want to help out the channel, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button, you guys. Like I said, it'll tell YouTube, hey, this, we need to share out this channel more, essentially. And the more it does that, the more potential lives we can save with these events. So if you're not already, guys, consider hitting that subscribe button, y'all. Share this with your friends and family, guys. It'll be greatly appreciated. And like I said, one day, who knows, you might be inside of these severe risk, and we might be just covering near you. Because like I said, we do cover the whole entire United States when it does come to severe weather. So we're definitely going to be here for y'all, 100%. Like I said, we've been live here for the last 3 days, really. We've been live every single day. And so, honestly, that is what we're looking at. So that is what we are seeing. So let me look here. So Courtney says, I looked it up. It says I can enable Super Chat in settings somehow. I'll have to look into more than that after the live stream here. Just Courtney, remind me, message me on Discord or something right now. If you could, message me on Discord and remind me to look at that later on, because I'll most likely forget. I always forget a lot of things here. So, but yeah, I'll look more into that. So let's go ahead and see. So on Thursday, I'm sorry I'm repeatedly talking to you about Thursday. You're good, man. But I think it'll mainly be a line. We'll start developing out to the west of Lincoln and come to the east. Well, it is going to start off as a line across the northern portion here of, obviously the upper Midwest here. It's going to start off as a line kind of across the Dakotas. Now, it's going to track its way here to the east, yes. But like I said, honestly, like I was talking about, it's going to be a whole line of storms compared to today's more individual cells. I mean, this has a big risk in itself. Tornadoes is still going to be a big probability, but the thing is about tomorrow's tornadoes is that they could potentially become what we call rain-wrapped, and the fact that they mix in with all the heavy rain and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and see, but yeah, that's what we are looking at. Okay, let's go ahead and look here. We have some wall clouds in Woodstock, Minnesota, says Lauren. That's not good. Are you sure about wall clouds? Are you talking about shelf clouds or wall clouds? Because there's definitely a huge difference between the two. But that's what we're looking at. Is there a tornado threat for Lakeville, Minnesota? Let's go and take a look here across Lakeville, Minnesota. Let's see what's going on here right now. My phone's being stupid again. Okay, let's go and take a look here at Lakeville, Minnesota. I have to look it up because, like I said, I'm not from Lakeville. But does not mean we can't look it up. Lakeville, Minnesota. Here we go. So this is across the... okay, this is just near Rosemont. Take a look here at images. Okay, this is just south of Minneapolis, or this is actually right next to Minneapolis, it looks like. So, so here across Minneapolis, yes, there is actually, I mean, really a lot of the eastern portion here of Minnesota, there is a tornado threat here, pretty much across the whole entire eastern side. But near Minneapolis being a 5% chance, so you're in a 5% chance here of seeing potentially maybe some tornadoes. But it's a relatively low chance. But like I said, essentially. It's a low-end chance, a 95% chance of a tornado not happening near you, but like I said, it's a big old risk. It's a low impact or low potential, high impact event, essentially, basically, because tornadoes are obviously very impactful, but it's a low percent chance. So you should not take that chance, and you should still be ready for it in case if something does happen, because like I said, there is, unfortunately, the big chance that tornadoes will most likely happen today. Like I said, just here in the watch alone, I mean, just for the first watch we have to refer to today, I mean, this literally shows us that we have a 60% probability of seeing a tornado inside of the watch area. So that is what we are looking at. So we're gonna continue watching that here. Let's go ahead and see. PG says with individual cells and one big super cells, I think we'll have at least one tornado here. We'll see what happens. Like I said, stay safe. If something does happen, we'll be here to cover it for you guys. Definitely for sure. So yeah, that's what we are looking at. That is what we are looking at right now. So, we'll keep an eye on it we'll keep an eye on it until it kind of fades out here. Just south of Minneapolis says next. Yeah, that's what we are looking at here. But going deeper into Minnesota, the storms will be severe thunderstorms. Go crazy. Yep, means that a lot of those tornadoes will follow. Most likely, that's what I'm kind of worried about, unfortunately. So that's what we're looking at. So, like I said, that's what we were looking at. So we're gonna continue watching this, guys. I mean, seriously, things are really heating up here. Jakey says storms can cause car explosions if they car flying in the air. Probably not impossible, considering if the fuel tank ruptures, yeah, and obviously it sparks from a lot of grinding metal. Yeah, it's definitely possible that it could at least burst into flames. I don't know about explode, like literally explode, or I don't know if it's just a burst into flames, or obviously. Well, it probably just depends on a lot of other factors. I mean, in terms of models and stuff like that. Diesel wouldn't. I would tell you now that diesel would not ignite like that. Now, diesel ignites under compression and rather than a direct spark. So if you had a car flying in a diesel engine, it would mostly impossibly ignite and blow up essentially, because like I said, diesel is ignited under compression. But yeah, that's what we were looking at. So. Let's go ahead and see here. George says, better than your local weather channel. Well, thank you so much, George. Greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and see. Tony says, thank you so much. You are my favorite watch right now. Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, Tony. Like I said here, guys, I'm going to be here for y'all. No matter what. Like I said, today's a pretty big day, and unfortunately, there's not other people that are really going over this event right now, which. I mean, even if there was big people that were actually, like big live streamers that were covering the severe weather event, I would still be here for you guys regardless, because that's just the way I am here. So I try to cover all the severe weather events I can, but that is what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so PG wants me to look here if I can check velocity in southern Minnesota. Yeah, we can. Any specific location? Assuming down here towards, we're looking at the southwestern side. So let's pull up velocity. Let's see what's going on here. Honestly, it would not be surprising, like I said, because we do have a tornado watch that is in effect here. We'll continue watching this. We'll continue watching this here. Obviously, okay, there is a bit of turbulence obviously kicking off here, but there is, what's going on down here towards Slayton? Okay, this might be something worth consider watching. That's kind of the signature, what it looks like if we have some rotation. And it is rotating the right way, too. Like I said, the green basically, how to read this, it's very simple how to read velocity. It basically looks at wind and air movements in the atmosphere based off of particles, movements and stuff like that. So the green basically shows us that the air is moving towards the radar, and the red shows it's moving away from the radar. So if we can assume that it's relatively compacted together, we can infer that there's likely some rotation that's ongoing right where that couplet is. And that's what we are looking at. So there's obviously a bit of turbulence that is ongoing here. But we're going to continue watching this here. We'll see what it does. Nothing really catches my eye off, seriously. I mean, this could be something to watch near George. It kind of looks like it might, be in store for something. But, yeah, honestly, it's kind of a bad mess of multi-cell storms happening right now. But that's what we are looking at. So, yeah, like I said, nothing too imminent right now. I'm not really expecting, like I said, right now there's no imminent danger of a tornado anywhere happening right now. But we are actually monitoring a severe thunderstorm warning, a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for 16 more minutes. The back end warning here is about to expire. This little polygon is about to expire here. But here's the thing. With this cell we're watching here, near Brook Park, bits of Pine City and Rock Creek, it's currently going over Interstate 35, likely causing some gusty winds, like I said, up to maybe 60 miles an hour, which is considered, damaging here. But also, like I said, also, one of our biggest threats here is actually hail, the size of a little bit greater than a quarter size. So actually, this is considered $half size hail. I'm sure you guys know what a $half looks like. I'm sure you guys have probably seen one in real life. If not, then just imagine 1.5 or 1 1/4, a quarter of an inch here being a possibility for hail here. So that's what we're looking at. So that's what we're looking at, guys. That's literally the only thing we have active right now, which is definitely some good news. I do hear... Okay, here we go. Here's some new information. Okay, so it does look like those cells are firing off now. We're going to have to double check on satellite here in a second. Our first severe storm here in Texas for today. Our first severe warned storm, I should say. Just north of Interstate 40 near Adrian. Once again, kind of similar to the warning we saw up to the north here, well to the north. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so the winds could gust up to. That's the thing what a lot of people mistake for, is that this is basically showing us that what the winds could get up to. This is not sustained. This is not constant winds. This is what the winds could get up to. Even a quick little wind gust of 60 or 60 miles an hour can cause some damage. So reason why it's considered in the severe criteria. So we also are seeing here, 1-inch hail, being a concern here as well. So that is what we're looking at. So basically quarter-size hail could be a concern with this cell as well. Like I said, just near Adrian, west of Amarillo, or Amarillo, depending on how you want to. I pronounce it Amarillo. I heard people say Amarillo, but I don't think it's not Amarillo. It's Amarillo. At least from the way I've always pronounced it. So let's go and take a quick little look here back at the satellite view. We've been seeing a growing boundary here on the western side of Texas and eastern New Mexico. You can see how those clouds are becoming gradually more visible here as this whole entire front starts to really kick off. All that more deep moisture is lofting its way up into the upper atmosphere. Now starting to kind of kick off some storms here. So we're going to continue watching that. Like I said, over the next hour, I do expect those to mature quite a bit here. And like I said, we're already seeing an active severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect, like I said, just east of Amarillo, or west of Amarillo. But that is what we are looking at. That is what we're looking at here for sure. So let's go ahead and see. I got some more comments coming in here. Jason says, yep, would like to help any way I can. Love weather. Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. George says, hi, Jenny. Drew says, tomorrow's threat for severe weather in Lincoln. Do I think the 20th threat is more north of us? Like I said, really across a lot of those regions here, there's a big old threat here. I mean, literally covering a lot of the upper Midwest. So obviously I do expect this to be pretty daggone crazy here regardless. But we're going to keep an eye on this, guys. I mean, literally, like I said, for tomorrow, we're also going to be live here as well. Let's go ahead and see. Jenny says, please tell your friends and family to subscribe. Yeah, guys, if you're not already, consider hitting that subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. Courtney says, please like and subscribe to help with YouTube algorithm. That'll be greatly appreciated, y'all. It'll help get the word out there. It'll help, like I said, potentially save more lives. So if y'all do want to help us out with that, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button. Not for me, but for everyone else. Like I said, even if there's severe weather near you in the States, we're gonna be live during it. Unless I'm sick or if I absolutely can't make it. But like I said, for the most times we are live here. I asked a question about Lincoln, Nebraska for 20 minutes tomorrow. Okay, we just looked at that, Drew. So here for Nebraska, let's go take a look here at Nebraska. I'm sure you wanted to take a look here. Where is Lincoln, by the way? Really across Lincoln, I forgot to get to where Lincoln was. Let's go ahead and take a look here towards, I want to say Lincoln. I swear to you, I've seen Lincoln somewhere before. I know it's somewhere around here. I'm just not seeing it. I might have to look it up here, actually. So let's go ahead and pull up Lincoln. Nebraska here. Let's go and see what's going on here. Okay, this is right here. Okay, this is in a city in Nebraska. This is right here on. Trying to find a map here to actually kind of demonstrate where this is at. This is in. Let me see. Okay, this is right here. Okay, this is on the southeastern side. Okay, so I want to go ahead and say, guys, if you do want me to, mention. If you want me to look at a specific place, I do recommend telling me what's... Okay, here's what I want to do from now on out, guys. So it takes too long for me to look up a specific location. Tell me the location you want me to look for, as well as the the state and which corner of the state it is. Is it northeastern? Is it central? Is it southeastern? You get the point. Tell me that, because I want that to be the new way, like I said, because it takes too long for me to look up specific locations, and obviously we have a lot to get to, which is obviously our big concern here, but... So from now on out, guys, tell me where. But right now there is no tornado threat here for today, anyways. But for tomorrow, on the other hand, yes, there is actually a threat here across Lincoln. But like I said, in terms of tornadoes, there's actually barely even a threat here for tomorrow. You're really just outside the 2% chance here. So you're right there, right next to the lowest end severe threat here for tornadoes tomorrow. But that is what we're looking at. So stay safe. Let's go ahead and see. We got some more. Definitely can produce mesocyclone. That's what we're seeing here. I've never saw a supercell before, says JQ. Not necessarily good. Jason says, how high are the towers at the moment? But I guess you're talking about echo tops. Cloud tops, yeah. Echo tops, same thing here. Basically just the radar picking up the tops here. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to pull up Amarillo here. And we're going to look at the echo tops. Can I even look up echo tops on here? I don't know if I can or not. I have differential phase. Yeah, I don't think it's pulling up here. Huh. I wish my program did show that. Let's try. All right, I'm gonna load a different program here. I have a GR3 also installed. My GR2 broke, unfortunately. Let's try GR3 really quickly. Okay, let's see. Let's try GR3 and see if this does pop up anything. In comparing to this. So let's take a look at these cells. I guess you want to look up towards Is there a specific location you said here in Texas, if I'm not mistaken? Okay, I guess we'll look here at Minnesota, because I think that's probably where you're wanting to look for. So let's go ahead and go radar by radar up here toward Minnesota. So here's what we're looking at. So here's obviously a bit of better data. Now, does this show... Here we go, echo tops. There we go. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. So we're talking storm tops here of about 40... Yeah, about 40 or so... 48,000 feet. That's pretty high echo tops. Actually, kind of pluming up here to some areas here in 50. Is kind of what we are looking at. That's actually pretty large tops here on these storms. Look at this. This one's showing 53,000 feet. That's pretty high up there. That's higher than your average airliner flies up to. That's pretty crazy. Those are some very, very tall storms for sure. So that's what we're looking at. We're going to keep that radar open. I feel like that could be very useful. I like using that one. For looking for like rotation and stuff. Let's go see here. Thunderstorms here, second round. Okay, let's go see. Yeah, like I said, guys, we're gonna be here for y'all. Check Birch Hill, Wisconsin. Like I said, PG, which side of Wisconsin is that? Like I said, I want to make that a new thing. Let me know if you want me to look at a specific location. Tell me about like what side of the state it's also in here. Or Birch Hills, because if I look here, I don't see it right off the bat, because you got to think I don't live here, which means I have to look it up here, and it takes me a few seconds, which, obviously there's a lot of stuff I have to get to. But let me go ahead and pull up here Birch Hill. Let's go and pull this is up, Birch Hill in Wisconsin. See what's going on. Yeah, and then I have to look up images and try to find exactly where this is at. I'm not seeing it on my side, so let me know which side of the state it is. Let's go ahead and see. But that is what we're looking at. So, okay, he says north. So, thank you. That actually helps out. So, northern Wisconsin. So, you want me to look here towards the region. So, that gives me a better idea. Now, some places, like I said, it'll probably be a little bit harder to find. But Birch Hill, yeah, also sometimes it does not pull up here on my radar, just letting y'all know. Okay, there's Rib Lake. Rice Hill. Yeah, Birch Hill is not really pulling up here for some reason. But I will tell you, across the northern side... Wisconsin right now, there is no active warning. I will tell you that right now. Now for tornado threat area, it's 2% chance here across the north central, and the western side here is 5% chance. So you can probably look specifically here. You can look specifically. Let's go ahead and see. But yeah, that is what we are looking at. Okay, so that's what we were looking at. So Jason says 48,000 is really close to production height. Around 50 to 55, they really start going. That's for sure. Loads of instability in effect. That's for sure. So let's see. Dan says, do I think Iowa County, Wisconsin? I believe I pretty much will get a lot of rain. I just see that we'll get rain. I believe a lot of Wisconsin here, especially for potentially here. Let's go take a look at the outlooks here for today. Definitely a very big possibility that a lot of areas here could see see rain in Wisconsin. In regard to things, as we are expected to see some of these storms potentially fire off here yet again across Wisconsin, but we'll keep an eye on this. We will definitely keep an eye on this here. So, but like I said, guys, we are going to continue watching this. It does look like we have ourselves a new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for Redwood Falls, bits of Renville, bits of Olivia, west of Morgan, east of bits of Lucan as well. This is basically just directly east of this. So 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so winds could gust up to 60 miles per hour, as well as the hail could potentially get up to a quarter size. So that is what we are looking at. That is what we are seeing here. So we're going to continue watching this. We're going to keep ourselves an eye on. Like I said, it's just west of Fairfax here. This is currently tracking its way up here to the northeast at the moment. This is our current stuff we have going on. We have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that is firing off here at the moment. But we'll keep an eye on it for sure, y'all. We're going to keep our eye on the cells, and we'll see if anything does happen. I want to double check and see if there's any new mesoscale discussions. We're going to see if there's any new discussions talking about maybe more watches being issued or whatever. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, there's a new mesoscale discussion on the western side of Texas. They're concerning a possible watch. Now, let me take this over to the Storm Prediction Center for you guys. And we'll talk more about it right here. Okay, watch possible. So here we go. Here's what we're talking about. Here's the Storm Prediction Center. Here's the mesoscale discussion we're seeing here. You can barely see it. It says a few multi-cluster cells possible this afternoon. A watch is possible for parts of the region. So, possible watch here. But they did put a issuance probability at a 40% chance. So, relatively, unlikely chance is right there. 50% chance is starting to begin likely. But this is kind of a possible threat. You know, kind of more of an unlikely, more possible type of threat. So we'll continue to see how that materializes. Like I said, the reason probably they're holding back on it is because they're waiting for more development to happen with these cells. Because essentially, like I was talking about, the models were actually showing it get a lot worse than it actually is already happening. The models had it well firing off here by now, which it's not. It's not as crazy here. So at least as we are currently looking at. So, but I do tell you what, we are starting to see some stuff happen here on action. Here's the satellite view. Here's what we're currently looking at. There's obviously some cloud cover becoming way more visible. Like I said, we go back here, there's nothing, but we can see that that boundary becoming a lot more visible here. We actually do have ourselves a severe thunderstorm warning down there. But that's what we are looking at. So this is what we are seeing here. Like I said, there is a possibility, just depending on what these do and how these materialize, we'll develop, continue to develop the story of if we'll need a watch or not. But like I said, that's what a mesoscale discussion is, basically showing us, hey, we might need a watch here. Basically, the watch before a watch. So just watch out for a watch, essentially. And the watch means you need to watch out for the possibility of severe weather, essentially. But they're saying, hey, there might be a watch that could be issued here. But that is what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and see. Obviously, I'm kind of getting caught behind here. Let's go ahead and see here what we're looking at. Tons of injury, those severe thunderstorms. Yep. Got a question. How's let's go see here. Looking in Iowa here, near Delmore and DeWitt, Iowa. Let's go take a look here towards, Elmore and DeWitt, Iowa. First of, or Delmore and DeWitt. I'm just going to take a look here across the region. So I don't know exactly which side this is, so I might have to look this one up again. Like I said, guys, if you want me to look at a specific location, like I said, include the side of the state as well. It'll seriously help us out. It'll obviously, make the time a little bit more, a little bit less of a pain to get through, but it's all right. So I'm going to take a look here. So you want me to look towards Delmore, Iowa. Here we go. So this is across. Okay, this is on the eastern side. This is near the region here. Here's DeWitt. Okay, here we go. Kind of right around in the regions here. So this is what we're looking at. So right here for today, for today, there is no active severe weather for tomorrow as well. It's all just west to you, my friend. But however, for Friday, we have ourselves a severe threat. So your day is going to be here on Friday. 2 out of 5 severe threat. Now, what that means essentially, like we were talking about here, that 2 out of 5 severe threat essentially just shows us, hey, we're going to show you that right now, but that basically shows us, hey, we are expecting the possibility of a few scattered, isolated, intense severe storms could be possible across the region, but that is what we are looking at the moment. So, yeah, that's what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and see here. Patrick says, I think tomorrow is going to get bumped up to moderate. I honestly do. I agree with that, Patrick. I don't think that tornado risk is going to increase. We'll see if they. I honestly have a possibility that, honestly, compared to that lower level jet we've been seeing here, I think it's a possibility they could actually make it significant, but not upgrade it. But I do expect that the hail and potentially damaging wind gusts to also increase. Definitely a lot of room for it. That's for sure. But yeah, that is what we're looking at. So that's seriously what I do think, and I honestly have very, very strong opinions about that. I seriously believe that is going to be the case here for tomorrow. I do believe we're going to go into a 4 out of 5 severe threat. So we're going to keep our eye out on this because it's been on a 3 out of 5 for a while. We're just waiting on more clearance and more information to come in here from radar products, model products, I should say. But yeah, that is what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and see high wind warning in effect for central Minnesota, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Well, that's not good. We'll stay safe. Let's go ahead and see here. It's looking worse and worse for severe weather. It seriously is, and it's looking pretty crazy here. So we're going to keep an eye on this, guys. Like I said, there is no active tornado warnings here yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. But we are seeing ourselves a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings that is in effect here. But that is what we're looking at. Check near Morgan, Minnesota, in southwest side near Redwood Lake warning. Okay, so going to take a look here. So this is currently what we are looking at. Okay, so here's what we're paying attention to. Now, you want me to look for, Morgan, Minnesota. So let's see here. Look out for Morgan, Minnesota. Yeah, this way I think is a lot more easier to look for things here. So this is kind of what we are looking at right now. This is that one cell we're made attention to near Redwood Falls. Currently what we are seeing here. So we got to continue watching. So like I said, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail is a concern here in regard to things. So let's go ahead and change the... Okay, we're still back on day 1, so that's good. I was wondering if you're on day 2, which we're not. We're good. We're in our day 1 outlook here. So, but like I said, this is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We are seeing a possibility here of, like I said, some damaging wind gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour, as well as the hail could potentially get up to 1 inch in diameter in regard to things. But, you know, that is what we are looking at, guys. We are going to continue to watch this in regard to things. In regard to things here. Hold on, guys. So I want to go ahead and tell you. Okay, so here's what we're probably going to have to do, guys. I think I might have to go ahead and end the live stream here. I understand you're probably wondering why. There's something I have to do really quickly. But I'm probably going to wait like an hour, probably a half hour to an hour. We're going to be live back again. So, here's what's going to happen, guys. We are going to obviously have to go here for a second because something has popped up here I got to take care of. So, we'll be back here, like I said, in about 30 minutes to an hour. Sorry about that. So set your guys' alarms. Obviously not what I want to do, but I have to go do something really quickly because something very important just popped up here. So, guys, we'll be back here in a half hour to an hour. I was going to say I'll make a time. We'll say 7 o'clock. Okay, 7 o'clock here in about 45 minutes. We'll be back, okay? Sorry about that. Obviously, I didn't plan on doing this, but we'll be back here in a little bit. So, that is what we were talking about. So, guys, we'll be back here in a little bit. Like I said, once again, sorry about that. But we'll be back here soon. So, guys, take care. We'll be back here relatively soon. Luckily, there's no active tornado warnings in effect here right now. But we'll be back here later on to, give you guys more information. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. If you're new to the channel, guys, hit that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. I have to be right back, guys. And we'll be back in about